Welcome to Hypothetically Speaking, a channel that doesn't provide final answers but offers possibilities. Today we continue the series on human nature with something not nice but very important, the question of evil. When we speak of evil, we touch the darkest aspect of human experience. We see it in cruelty against others, in exploitation of animals, in the destruction of nature, and even in the harm people inflict upon themselves. Evil in its many forms raises a question that has haunted thinkers, poets, and ordinary people alike. Why would a conscious being, capable of kindness and empathy, choose to act with such destruction? So here it is, my evil hypothesis. The evil hypothesis begins with a simple but profound assumption, that the fundamental state of consciousness is harmony. When consciousness is in touch with its essence, it naturally gives rise to peace, balance, compassion, and joy. But if that is true, then why does evil occur at all? Why does consciousness sometimes seem to turn against itself and against life? The answer, according to this hypothesis, is not that evil is intrinsic to consciousness, but that it emerges from a condition of estrangement. Evil arises when consciousness fails to realize its own nature. This failure can take different shapes. Sometimes it appears as sheer non-realization. The individual has never grasped what they truly are at the deepest level. Other times it appears as forgetfulness, a temporary lapse, where a person who once glimpsed their deeper nature loses touch with it again, often in the face of testing situations that make them feel as if they have no choice. In both cases, the root issue is the same. Consciousness becomes cut off from its essence, and this estrangement does not happen in a vacuum. It is sustained by preoccupation. Life is noisy. People are consumed with survival, with ambitions, with fears, with desires, with ideologies, with dogmas, with the endless demands of social and material existence. And this happens from a very young age until the day they die. All of this fills the space of awareness until there is no room left to reflect on what is most fundamental. In that condition, consciousness responds not from clarity, but from distortion. Decisions and actions are driven by biases, selfish impulses, prejudice, and greed. Evil takes root not because consciousness is evil, but because it is lost in oblivion to its own ground. Think of it like the sky hidden by clouds. The sky itself is open and clear, but when the clouds are thick, one might even forget that such openness exists. In the same way, the essence of consciousness remains harmony, but when it is covered by the dense clouds of non-realization, preoccupation, and forgetfulness, the individual mistakes the clouds for reality itself. They lash out, they harm, they exploit, not because harmony is gone, but because they no longer see it. If this view holds true, the path beyond evil is not merely punishment or suppression. These may restrain behavior, but they do not reach the root. The deeper work is remembrance and realization. To realize our essence is to dissolve the ignorance that breeds separation. To remember is to let clarity dissolve confusion. When that happens, harmony reasserts itself, and compassion, peace, and balance flow naturally once again. This does not mean the journey is easy. Most who are deeply immersed in evil are too occupied with their own schemes, their ambitions, or their justifications to stop and reflect. They resist reminders, deny correction, and reject the call to awaken. The noise of their own pursuits drowns out the possibility of clarity. Yet the hypothesis suggests that evil is not permanent. The essence of consciousness does not vanish, it only hides. Even if buried under layers of oblivion, the possibility of realization remains. The task, then, is not to force goodness from outside, but to create the conditions where clarity can dawn through reflection, through insight, through the loosening of blind preoccupation. Evil in this light is not the true nature of consciousness. It is its estrangement, and to overcome it is not to become something other than what we are, but to remember, to realize, and to return. Picture it this way: each of us is given a lamp at birth, a light that could illuminate our path through life. If we ignite it, the road ahead shines clear and we walk in peace, but most never think to strike the flame because those around us do not either. Oblivious or forgetful that the lamp can even be lit, we stumble through darkness. In that blindness, we trade wisdom with the equally blind, mistaking it for truth because it is the only life we know. In such a world, trees turn into monsters, shadows into enemies, and the wind into whispers of threat. We fight against illusions, and in fighting, we create real harm, when all along, what was needed was simply to light the lamp and hold it high. If this idea resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments. Let's expand our vision of the human nature together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell so you won't miss the next idea. Thank you for watching Hypothetically Speaking. If you enjoyed this exploration, remember, we don't deal in answers here, only in possibilities. Until next time, keep questioning, keep wondering, and keep your mind open.